Yo, what is up, all you primetime players, all you primetime fans, all you newcomers that's just coming onto the podcast? This is the Primetime Thoughts Podcast, and I am your host, Zachariah Scott, man. And man, I got some exciting news. Man, let's start off this episode with some good news for all you Pelicans fans that's just coming onto the podcast episode, man. David Griffin is gone. David Griffin is finally gone. He's finally off the building, man. He's finally out of New Orleans. He's packing up his shit. He's headed on wherever he's going. I don't care. He's finally out of New Orleans, man. And I do not prey on people's downfalls. I do not wish anybody get fired out in the world, but man, that was one man that I was just like, you are ruining New Orleans basketball. You are ruining Pelicans basketball, man. That was something that I used to just. I would go to the games. I'd bring my wife to the games. Me and my friends would go to the games. Me and my family would go to the games. Like, I couldn't do that this season. I couldn't do it because I could not see myself wasting money on a terrible product. You raised up the prices for everything that was around there. Food went up, tickets went up, parking went up, everything went up, and it was terrible. You put out a terrible product, so it was time to go. The Smoothie King Center already don't look good. Gayle Benson even said in her statement, she's gonna try and improve the Smoothie King Center to be the number one place or the number one arena in the NBA in the world. Good luck with that, because you have limited amount of space. So it must be a lot of stuff she wants to do internally. And when is she gonna start doing that? Because there's a lot of stuff that's about to be going on. I don't know when she's gonna have time to even start doing that, if she even has the money to do it and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. We're gonna get into Gayle's statements a little bit later. But David Griffin is finally gone, man. And a lot of y'all are gonna be like, oh well, it's Zion's fault, it's Brandon Ingram's fault, it's CJ McCollum's fault because they were constantly hurt and they was constantly injured and stuff like that. Yes. Were they constantly hurt and injured? Yes. Could you put some of the blame on Zion and some of the players and stuff like that? And could you put some of the blame on Newcastle being hurt on Willie and stuff like that? Yes, you could put some of the blame. But when it came down to it, when David Griffin was looking at this roster and he was like, do I want to give Zion this money or do I want to get rid of him? He still gave Zion the money with all the contingencies and stuff. And you see what happens when Zion actually plays, and he plays well. We saw that this season. We saw that a couple of seasons ago. We know what Zion looks like when he's on the court. We know what impact that he has. Now, did they finally figure out how to manage it? And did he finally figure out how to work with his body and get an NBA body? Yes. But there wasn't that much to go into this season, because by the time November hit, everybody was hurt. Everybody was hurt and basically out. Like, by the time November hit, it was done for. Ingram went. I believe Ingram went down. Zion was already in and out the lineup, and Murray went down by November. DeJounte Murray went down by, I believe it was November or December, sometime around there. Trey Murphy was in and out the lineup early on, but he was still playing good. Herb Jones, he was playing well, but then once he got hurt, it was just it. Like, you don't have your best defender, you don't have your best player, you don't have your second best player, and you don't have your point guard. There's not much you don't really do. Did injuries hurt? Yes, but excuse me. Did David Griffin also fumble the bag when it comes down to some of these draft picks? Yes. Should he got Jackson Hayes? No. Should he got Kyron Lewis when there was a whole bunch of other players left? No. Should he have traded away Dyson Daniels so early? No, because Dyson would have been great on this team right now. Should he have stuck around with Jose Alvarado? No. Should he have kept Najee a little bit more? Yes. Should he have kept Larry a little bit more? Yes. Now, when it comes down to rotations, that's on Willie Green. But when it comes down to the roster, David Griffin could have put together a better roster, I believe. I'm going to my trusty notes. With that being said, and with David Griffin finally out of the office, finally out of New Orleans, he's packing up his stuff. I got people in the airport let me know when he gonna possibly leave and stuff. Man, I can't wait. With that being said, this is gonna be the roster for the Pelicans. This is what their 2025 basically look like. You still have your starting five, which is probably going to be DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum. We don't know when DeJounte Murray is going to come back. He's probably not going to come back until after December at the earliest. December the earliest, if he's lucky. But he might not come back until after All-Star. So, you're going to need a point. Then you got CJ McCollum, you got Herb Jones, you got Trey Murphy, and you got Zion. If you notice, I didn't really say a center. I'm sorry. You also got Yves Missi, Caron, I can't say his last name, Kelly Olynyk, Jordan Hawkins, and Jose Alvarado. Those are your guaranteed guys. Now, for your non-guaranteed guys or your guys that's on the team option, you have Albert Payton, Brandon Boston, and Antonio Reeves is non-guaranteed. So ain't no telling if they're gonna bring him back. Should they bring him back? I don't believe so. I feel like you could pick something else up. Or actually, no. Alfred Payton is good. He's not your scorer, but he's definitely your playmaker. He's definitely gonna set up your offensive stuff. So if I'm the new president of basketball operations, I would have Alfred Payton as my backup PG. Right? Yeah, Alfred Payton fits a perfect role for backup PG. What am I doing with Jose Alvarado? You ask. I'm getting rid of Jose. I'm sorry. Like, I gotta waive Jose. Jose was doing good, but he's still a defensive liability. His shot's not consistent. He's only 6 feet. He's only listed at 6 feet, 6'1" maybe. And to be that small and not really be that scorer and not really be that good of a defender and you're not really doing much for my offense and stuff, like, I kind of think it's time to move on. And you only keep the guys that you need to keep. And the guys that you need to keep is Murray, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy the third, Zion, Yves Missi, and that's it. That's all you need to keep. Zion, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Yves Missi. Those are the 4 I'm keeping. Everybody else, DeJounte Murray, if I could move him, possibly cool. But if not, I'm not. We'll see how that goes. He's coming off of Achilles, so ain't no telling. Your free agents, Bruce Brown, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, Jared Kane, Alfred Payton. Like I said, team option. Brandon Boston's the team option, and Karen Brooks. I'm not picking none of them up. I got the 4th overall pick currently right now. The draft lottery hasn't hit yet, so hopefully when the draft lottery hits, that goes down to the number 1 pick. If the Pelicans get the number 1 pick, I'm taking Cooper Flagg in a heartbeat. Or with this roster, I'm taking Ace Bailey, or I'm taking Harper. Like, man, I'm taking those 3. Out of those 3, I'm be happy with it, because those 3 fit a need that we need. This team definitely has a lot of money left. This team definitely has a lot of money left. So let's get into what we should watch if you're a Pelicans fan out there, which we should watch for this offseason. So, the draft lottery I was talking about earlier, there's a 12.5% chance of getting the number 1 pick. We've done this before, where we entered it at 4th, and we still end up with number 1. So, this is very much possible. We've seen teams do this, very, very much possible. So, it's very possible, right? Number 2, A search for the next head of basketball operations. I have an option. We have our Shums has already put out the name for a front runner. I think it's a good one. Troy thinks it's a bad one. I'm gonna get into it. Does the new front office trust Zion to build a roster around him? This is very true. You got to see how Zion is gauging. You got to see how his weight is maintaining. We've seen him lose a lot of weight. We've seen him playing a little bit more. But we also see him on load management. So you got to see how that also goes. And lastly, the future of head coach Willie Green. Me personally, I let Willie Green go. As soon as the basketball president of operations comes in, the new head of basketball operations comes in, I'm letting him go. Let him go. Let Willie Green go. Willie Green has only gotten us to the playoffs twice, and has not won a game. Has not won a single game. And you can say, oh, well, Zion, your best player, Zion, wasn't playing in that. You still can't win a game? You can't win a game, man? You can't. I'm sorry, not a game. He hasn't won a series. He hasn't won a playoff series. Because he did win. They won 2 against the Suns. I'm sorry, I was mistaken. They won 2 against the Suns, but they got swept by OKC. And everything else was just play in or miss the playoffs. Like, come on, man. Some of the roster resources is a top 5 pick. That's good. Tradable ones, 6. We own 6 number 1 first round picks in the next 8 seasons. Some expiring contracts to CJ and Kelly Olynyk. So don't be surprised if they trade them away. And they own the rights to Bruce Brown. So don't be surprised if they trade. That's a sign and trade as well. So it's very possible to rebuild this team or this roster around and see how this shit's cracked, right? I feel good about what the new head of basketball operations, what he's going to lead into and stuff like that. So for my personal front runner is Joe Dumars. And I say Joe Dumars because he's won multiple levels. He's done this before. We've seen him make a good roster before. You ask who's Joe Dumars? Well, Zach, I heard that name before. Where I hear the name? Yes, that's the shooting guard from the Bad Boy Pistons. Yes, that guy. That guy that's also been in the league office. That guy who's also been in the Pistons front office when the Pistons won a championship with Chauncey Billups and Bill Wallace, and been to the Eastern Conference Finals 6 years from 03 to 08. That Joe Dumars who led the Pistons front office. Like I said, won 2 championships, 6 All-Star appearances, a Hall of Famer in 2006, 14 years as the president of basketball operations from 2000 to 2014. Won executive of the year in 03, won a championship in 04, been to the finals multiple times. 6 years in the Eastern Conference Finals, 03 to 08. Yes, his only knock is he did miss on that 2003 draft. He did miss on a couple of drafts. I ain't gonna lie. And his most notable is that 2003 draft. If he would have took Carmelo, D-Wade, Chris Bosh, or somebody else in that 03 draft pick, if he would have went somewhere else with that second overall pick and not take Mirčić or Darko, they could have won multiple championships. And that's his main blunder. That's his main failure as an executive. I'm not gonna lie to that. Also, to end up his tenure with the Pistons, he has a losing record in each of the last 6 seasons for the Pistons. So at that point, it was time for him to go from the Pistons, and I think they were ready to see something else. But this is just a front runner He's just the front runner. He's also my front runner. My also second pick is I would like Bob Myers. I would personally like Bob Myers. And you ask who's Bob Myers? Bob Myers is the guy who's the front office leader for the Golden State Warriors, who brought in the Steph, who brought in a Clay, who brought in a Draymond, who brought in a Iggy, who brought in a KD, who brought in multiple veteran players that was able to get it done, and role players and young guys, and mesh it all up, who saw the vision. And he let go of Mark Jackson, but he also brought in Steve Kerr to right the ship. So I think Bob Myers will also be a great option. That's if he wants to get back in the front office anytime soon. Oh man. I'm just happy that David Griffin is gone. Willie Green about to get up out of there too. We're going back next season. We're going back to some NBA games, man. We're finally going back to Pelicans games, man. It's going to be fun. Y'all ain't seen me that much this season because I wasn't doing it. Wasn't wasting the money. This season, more into Pelicans games, more Pelicans news, more Pelicans episodes and stuff like that. With that being said, I'm gonna give y'all some more NBA news. I'm gonna also drop y'all my predictions for the play-ins. That's gonna be on the channel, on the YouTube channel, real soon. So I'm probably gonna be dropping. I'll make that a NBA short of who I think is gonna win these first couple of games. Those are gonna be little shorts that y'all could go check out on my TikTok and on my YouTube. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody that made it this far into the pod. Love y'all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's for your boy Zachary Scott from the Primetime Thoughts Podcast, and I'll catch y'all real soon. Peace. Love y'all.